another three. And that is why he's one of the best in the business of being able to score.
Absolutely tomahawk by Amari Stoudemire.
Amari poured it on. The Midas touch.
You know, it's hard to believe that one of the most storied franchises in league history has been a non-factor of late. The Knicks haven't won a playoff game since 2001. They got back to the playoffs last year, promptly dismissed, but they did win that battle for the public relations attention. Full season of Carmelo and Amari. Are you thinking that just in that light, it's going to yield better results?
No question about it. It's going to get better. Kind of what people have to understand is don't worry about whose team it is. Come out and play hard every night. Understand what Coach D'Antoni wants to get job on the offensive end, and defensively have the best team defense y'all can have. And you have an opportunity.
Well, big market, big story, of course, when Melo made his way there. Let's take a look at the state of the franchise. The Knicks finished 6th in the East. Were promptly dismissed by the Celtics in the first round. They were 14-14 after the Melo trade. Remember that horrible stretch when they started out and everyone was doubting the deal? D'Antoni is playing for his future as well. What's going to happen to him following this season? Anyway, here's Kenny Smith on Carmelo Anthony reshaping this team. And he was asked, whose team is it? Melo's or Stats?
I never heard Michael Jordan say, this is my team. I never heard Larry Bird say, this is my team. I just heard guys say, this is the Boston Celtics, the Chicago Bulls, or these are the great teams that I play on. Because every person has a role that is vital. Because you score more, is your role more important than the guy who rebounds more? Is your role more important than the guy who defends more? Is your role important because you have a better commercial? So there is no such thing as my team. I think that there are certain roles that you have to take the strength of. So if you are the best scorer on that team and you don't do that every night, then you didn't do your role on your team. And so I don't think that it's Amari's team. I don't think it's Carmelo's team. I think that the Knicks have to come and get their cohesiveness together on and off the court.
That is well said. We haven't even mentioned the great Chauncey Billups, a great past champion. So as we do, are the components there to unseat Boston in the Atlantic?
I think so. A healthy Chauncey Billups is a real key because he's going to run the show, get the ball to the right people. And don't forget, his nickname is Mr. Big Shot. He still can make shots for you. But I think Kenny hit around the head from the defensive standpoint. We know Carmelo and Amari aren't defensive stoppers. But if you can get them to play team defense, help out, block shots. Amari Stoudemire was blocking 4 or 5 shots a game early in the season. Then as the season wore on, he stopped blocking those shots. Get back that team defense, healthy training camp. I think the Knicks may surprise some people.
Yeah, and some numbers to your point right here we'll present because, as you said, they are great offensive players, but the Knicks have to defend 3D, and there's the rub. We take a look at the numbers before and after the trade for Melo. StatsCube shows a bump in the offense as expected, but defensively a step back. However, like you said, they're trying to change that philosophy of how they play defense.
Right, and D'Antoni has to tweak his offensive style a little bit to his players. They brought in Mike Woodson, who did an excellent job for the Hawks for so many years, getting them to play good team defense. Not one-on-one defense, team defense, because that's what you need to do to get over the hump against the good offensive teams in this league.
Yeah, you can't give up 109, 110 points a night and expect you're going to have success each and every night. Okay, let's take a look at the projected starting lineup as we know it here for the Knicks. And as we do, we didn't mention Landry Fields, too, who kind of sputtered in postseason, but he was a nice surprise for them.
Well, out of that starting lineup, Landry Fields is the only one-on-one ball defender. Everyone else is solid team defender. Ronnie Turioff a little undersized at the center spot, so maybe they can find a free agent to come in and keep Amari at the power forward position where he'd rather be. Things could get very interesting in the Big Apple.
Yeah, but that's just it. You know, the 3 players we talked about with Billups and Melo and Stat, those guys are taking up a lot of the money room on this team. So you wonder about the flexibility. In that light, what about the possibility, and here it is, of Chris Paul making his way to New York? And I know there'll be some machinations to try to make that happen, and there may be a perception problem as well.
Well, no question to be a perception problem after what the lockout went through. But Chris Paul, we all know how great he is as long as he's healthy. Once again, the numbers, the new deal, do the numbers fit? You know, do you have enough personnel on the Knicks side to give to New Orleans? It's going to be a very murky situation, but I'm not sure if that's going to work out for the Knicks.
If it doesn't happen now, could it happen later when he officially becomes a free agent? And are the Hornets going to let that happen? I'm kind of putting you in a tough spot here.
If I'm the Hornets, I'm calling Chris Paul and his significant other and their little boy, come to my house, let's sit down, let's talk. What do we need to do? What can we do to keep you here and keep you happy? That's what I would do. I wouldn't think about trading him.
All right, give me your prediction on the Knicks.
I think the Knicks fight the Boston Celtics for the Atlantic Division, and they're in the playoffs. How deep they go depends on their health.